Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Arknights reaction. Today we have Autumn Moods. Apparently this one was from the same album as Spring's Pulse, and if you've been around the channel for long enough to remember that video from me, you know how much I love Spring's Pulse, so I have very high expectations, and I really hope that Para, who requested this in the executive producers, understands that. Like, I am going to be putting this through the ringer. I'm not expecting it to be the same sound or anything, but I am going to hold it to the same expectation of quality. After getting a song like that out of there, I'm expecting to get a song like whatever this is. I hope it's good. So without further ado, let's go! Oh, what the hell? Oh! Oh, it's like a 50s city pop kind of vibe going here. Okay. Maybe a little bit more 90s, because they did kind of have a resurgence of that sound around that time. Oh, that's a vibe. This is adorable. What? Okay. Very different from Spring's Pulse. But it's a delight. Beautiful chorus, mainly. Great hook to it. Ooh, ooh. Love that guitar tone, too. I'm just vibing now. Why do I feel nostalgic? It's not nostalgia in the same way that Spring Pulse gave me. Put this on in like the local mall, you know? Had to pause for those stings. Here they come again. It's so good. It's so sweet. Ooh. Nice little big band pickup stings there at the end. I love that. This is, again, completely different from Spring's Pulse, but it's nostalgic all the same in a different way. And I love that. So I was pretty much on the money when I said that this song sounded nostalgic, and it sounded like a lot of other older songs, especially in the city pop era, but also in the 60s. Lots of songs were doing this exact same progression. Not necessarily one for one, but a lot of the time, especially more modern wise, they tend to be transposed into the key of G. That's where we are for this song, and damn if it isn't obvious. So we have G, E minor, A minor, D. Usually now we would do G, E minor, C, D. That's kind of the most popular, like, old progression of it. This is the famous one, right? But for this song, we obviously drop it down all the way to the... And I think that's just to add a little bit more body on the low end. Also, because it tends to mostly be A minor 7th, we kind of end up with the C there anyway. So it's basically the same thing, just with a little bit more beef on the low end. You can easily play that and then settle back up. It's effectively the exact same progression, just with a little bit more in the shuj department for a little bit more beef on the low end. I don't know why I called it shuj. That's the word we're going with. I guess it's a term now. But that's kind of the secret sauce of this song, is like it stays somewhere that's familiar. We also do get this lift up here, and that adds that like fragility to the top. This is a G major 7th. So we have that, and then we, of course, go down. Sometimes I think we even have the 7th there. I'm not sure if it happens every time. And like I mentioned, always have it on the A minor. So we have that there. And the D even sometimes, I think, has it there just for a little bit of a lift. But that feels a little bit too much like it's kind of lifting a key to like sing a song like everybody happy birthday time. I don't know if this actually happens. It feels like it would settle more into just having the triad for that. But either way, still a beautiful progression, super popular for obvious reasons, and why it sounds like it came straight out of the 50s and 60s, because it kind of did. That's where it got its really heavy grip on the musical world that we all know. And that's also why city pop got its mitts on it, because a lot of city pop was inspired by that era of Western music as well. And like I mentioned, there was like a resurgence in the 90s for city pop of borrowing more from that old sound, because there was a nostalgia attached to it for the people who were making new songs in that era. They had grown up with this sound. So that's just how music works. We tend to have kind of a looping cycle of people who hear music, then when they're older, they make music, they make things based on songs that inspired them, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, it results in us getting this nice sort of bouncy progression that just feels so familiar, and it's so good and so fun. And then at the end, we get a little bit of, like I mentioned, that big band buildup. And this progression also happens at the beginning, but I don't think that they hit it as hard, because you want a big finish. You don't necessarily need to start big, especially for something like this that has just such a flowing melody, just really nice and calming and soothing. You don't want to really hit that until the end, but we basically go G, G, F, G flat, G. So really simple one there. I love that. It's a classic, again, a classic boost up. It's so often used in things like big band, especially at the end of songs. That sort of flat build up into a whole chord. Usually it lands on the tonic of a scale. There we are, and we have this beautiful, fun song that's just really nice to hear. There is that nostalgia, innate nostalgia attached to it. Like I mentioned, why and everything. So that's why this song works. Add that with the aesthetic of just generally city pop having a lot of that in it. It just, even for those who didn't grow up with city pop, there is so much of that DNA of our music from the West from way back in the day that we just know it. We feel it. It's in our soul, even if we never experienced it ourselves, right? Like you feel nostalgia for stuff like this when you've never lived it, just because of how much you hear it growing up. Even if you don't realize how much you're hearing it, it's this natural progression. It's the same sort of effect that works out with like Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. And since it's based on that, it kind of abuses your emotional experience and makes a good song as a result. Sure, it's overplayed, but at the same time, it is borrowing a lot of what we know to be good in music and what we know to be familiar, even in our subconscious. So really fucking good song here. Really fun, beautiful. Again, it's nostalgic in a way that's completely different from the Spring's Pulse one. A completely different reason why, but it is still nostalgic. So now I'm wondering if all of the songs from this album were nostalgic for that specific reason. Were they made specifically because people were stuck indoors during that time, during the great COVID era, and they wanted to make something that sounded like something they heard when they were young and kind of lean into that emotionally? Maybe it was that familiarity that drove the artist to make what they made, but whatever the case may be, it's still a really fun song, and I'm glad I got to hear it. But I think I'm done yapping about it, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Arknights, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if like Para did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon and get the executive producer queue, where you can guarantee something out of me. Doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!